Okay, so yesterday we learned a little bit of the times that the Orin was held by Kehanan. Oh, no, we did that yesterday already. We did Lamed Al yesterday, right? So today is Lamed Hey. Oh, so yesterday we already started learning about the Meraglim. So we learned yesterday how Chevron was better than all of the rest of the world because it was even better in Tzayim Mitzrayim. And Tzayim Mitzrayim was from the best properties for planting in the world. And we learned all the way to the end that the reason why they used Hebron as a land for pasture is because growing grass is good in a poor quality land of Teroshim, but grain they weren't able to plant there. And then I'm sorry, and Gevurim as well. That's right. Okay, right. That's right. That's right. That's why he went to Hebron. That's correct. The daven by the Kforim. They came back from spying on the land. So the Gemara is going through the Psukim and darshaning what happened. Today's daf, Kamat, we learned the whole daf before. They're very famous drushes, but now we get to see where the Gemara actually has these drushes. So it says Vayelchu Vayavoyu. So Rashi is the Vayelchu Yisera. We're comparing their attitude when they went to the attitude that they had when they came back. Just like when they came back, they were already going with a bad attitude. It shows that even when they went originally, they didn't go with an open and objective mind. Rather, and there's a lot of Torah about this. With Vosepis, they had a grudge. Why didn't they want to go? So there's a lot of Torah as to why they didn't want to go. Some learn because they're in the Siyum. They were big Knackers in the Midbar. They knew they would lose their prestige and their position and their power. They would come into this role. There are those who say that living in the Midbar was like being in Koil. We had no oil parnasa. All we did, everybody was in Koil. Everybody sat and learned the whole day. And we lived Shaloi Kader Chateva with the Mon. But they knew once they would go into Eretz Yisrael, we would have to all become farmers, and it would become very Megushimdik, and we would be responsible at least to make a Shtadlis for our Parnasa. And they said, why should we go from a life of Gan Eden? Why should we go from a life of Gan Eden if we can go to the life of the mundane? So they didn't want to go. It says, yes, it's a pretty good place, but it's a very tough crowd there, and it's not going to be easy to win over this land. They knew how to turn away a nation, and they knew that if they start right away knocking Eretz Yisrael, no one would believe them. They would get tomatoed down off the stage. So they started with the truth. They're going to lose their credibility if right away they start knocking. So at first they draw people in by saying some of the truth. Not that they wanted to, but they knew how to manipulate the crowd, and they knew that they had to start by praising Eretz Yisrael to draw people in so they should listen to them. And then it comes up Vayas Shishkan. He got them to be quiet. Vayas Kalavesa'am El Moshe towards Moshe, which Rashi says, B'dvorim shehischel l'daber b'Moshe, v'yusvurim shebegnusa yiroitza l'saper. How did he use Moshe to draw them in? They started in such a way where people would think that they're also joining the crowd, and they're also trying to knock Moshe, to attack Moshe. What exactly happened? How did you fool them with your words? How did Kalev fool them with his words to draw them in to get them to listen to him? His Pasach Yoshua. First, Yoshua started to speak to counter the terrible Lashon Hara of the Meraglim. He started speaking. They told him, Dain Rosh Ketiyah, Yumalel, this little guy, this fellow with the chopped off head, he should speak. What does it mean? What does it mean that he's a little guy? So let's hear Rashi says. V'sheskub b'nezifa. They tomatoed him down. Ramuloi. Sorry. They quieted the crowd, scrimped and shouted down. Kalev made the I'm quiet. He was able to get their attention, but Yeshua wasn't. When Yeshua tried to get up and speak for the exclusive Eretz Yisrael, they scramped him down. The person with a chopped off head should speak. Misha Roisha Katua. What does it mean, Roisha Katua? She'ein lebanim lita chelik ba'aretz hu yudaber b'fanenu. Yeshua didn't have children, so you don't have children anyway. So you don't really have a horse in this race. So therefore, who are you to tell us? You don't care if it's a good land, because you're going to be leader, and you don't have to worry about your children having to live in the land. You're like a typical liberal. You're destroying the United States now. You don't care what's going to be next generation. I did not voice to Yashin. Correct. There are those who learn that why was it Rosh Ketuah? Because the first letter of his name was Yud, which is a tiny little letter. I'm not sure exactly why that would shut him down, but at the end of the day, the Olam was against him, so it was easy to shut him down and to discredit him with anything. So right away, Kalev realized if he starts to get up and speak in the Schus of Eretz Yisrael, they'll shut him down. Just like they'll shut him, this is much like deplatforming him. They shut off Yeshua's Facebook account and they shut off his Twitter account because he was spreading misinformation. They shut him down. So Kalev had to somehow be able to get a platform without being shut down. Amar, he said, if I start speaking in the Schus of Eretz Yisrael, and they're going to start saying Amri b'milsa b'chasminli, they're going to silence me. They're going to deplatform me. So we think this deplatforming and silencing is a new thing. This already happened in the times of the Meraglim. Amar Leni told them. So this is how he got their attention. He first started writing, COVID is real, and anybody who could say that it's released by the Chinese is fake. And then he said, and you know what else? V'chizu bilvad asalanu ben Amram. Savri, they thought the Genusei Kameshtoi. They thought that he was going to also say the Genus of Eretz Yisrael ishtiku. They were quiet. Now Amalu, he quickly got in the following list. You know what else Moshe Rabbeinu did? Haitziyanu Mitzrayim, v'karalanu Sayam, v'chilanu Esamon. So, being that he's done so much for us, and he has such a long record of success with us, Im Yoimar Asusu Lamois Valula Rekia Loy Nishmaloi, whatever he tells us, well, of course we're going to do because we know it's going to work. Oloy Nala V'Yarashnu Oisa. So there's some interesting pshatim that people say. One of the pshatim that they say, what was he trying to say? What did he say? V'chizois v'chizu b'vad asalonu ben Amram. But also the Yas Kalev Esam El Moshe, and Kalev understood that the reason why they didn't have a munah that they'll be able to get into Yisrael because they thought it was about Moshe. So by knocking Moshe, they knocked him all down. Kalev realized that Klal Yisrael needs to realize it's not Moshe. It's not about Moshe. This is about the Rebbeinu Shalom. We have to have a munah in the Rebbeinu Shalom. By making it about Moshe and attacking Moshe, everyone's missing the boat, and that's exactly the diversion tactic that the Meraglim were trying to use. So Kalev focused back Klal Yisrael that it's the Rebbeinu Shalom. So he quieted them from making this about Moshe, and he tried to focus their attention that this is about the Rebbeinu Shalom. I'm sorry? But by Yas Kalev El Moshe, he quieted them down from talking about Moshe. Yeah, but you're right. But the way he did it was try to bring out, and the koich of that was the Rebbeinu Shalom. It's not mamish in the Ksav of the Gemara. Well, Moshe Rabbeinu was involved in all that. But that was also part of a strategy. Showed that it wasn't Moshe; it was the Rebbeinu Shalom. Exactly because of what Tobi's asking. The other thing is, I don't understand when he said "Zubul Vad Astalonu Ben Amram." So Mahechatesi was going to say that. So one of the things they say is he didn't call Moshe by his name respectfully, rather he called him by Ben Amram. And if you look at the Haftarah by Macha Chodesh, it talks about a conversation that Shaul Melech had with Yonasan. Shaul wanted David to be there? Why wasn't he by the Sotah? Why isn't David there? And Yonasan, who was David's friend, was trying to bring up the schus of David. So if you look at the Pesukim, you'll notice that Shaul asked, "Where is there Ben Yishai? Where is Ben Yishai?" And Yonasan answered, "David is." So you see that Shaul, who didn't like David, was referring to him as Ben Yishai, and Yonasan, who loved David, referred to him by his first name. We also say it in English, right? We don't say, "Where's your uncle?" We say, "Where's that son of a?" It's the same thing. When you say son of, automatically you know it's a derogatory reference. Zog to Gemara weiter. Andere Zugen. V'hanoshim asher olu imoy amru loy nuchal. We are not going to be able to take over Eretz Yisrael. Amar Rab Chanina bar Papa. Dover gadol dibru meraglim ba'oisha. You know what they said? They had a very good, effective taina. They said, "Ki chazaku mimenu." They're stronger than us. Al trikim mimenu elam mimenu. It's stronger than him. Kavayachol afilu balabais einu yachol lahotzi kelev misham. Dr. Rashi, imefkidum. Balabais is referring to Adon Ha'olam. Einu yachol lahotzi kelev imefkidum sham. So kavayachol, they were trying to be mamayit in the koyach of the Rebbeinu Shalom often the kfira. Eretz Oichelas Yoshveahi, it's a land that eats its inhabitants. Dorish Rava, Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu, look at that. Look how people misconstrue things and they don't appreciate what's done for them. Anicha Shavtia L'Toiva. I actually made people die while the Meraglim were there to help the Meraglim and to protect the Meraglim by diverting the people's attention. And they twisted it around to highlight a negative. Anicha Shavtia L'Toiva. The matu mace, every time there's a mace, chashiva, mace chashiva, when they came, one of their choshev people, a minister, a king, somebody always choshev was dying. If all of the leaders are involved in funerals, they're not going to have time to notice that there's intruders, there's spies. There's spies in here. The Ikad Amri, and there are those who say, Iev noch nafshe, it was Iev who died, and therefore, Vitridu Kula Alma Basbeda. Everybody was busy with the Levaya, and Heim Chashvul, and they misinterpreted as if it was a bad thing, and they said, Eretz Oicheles Yoshveahi. That's what they said. So Shachav Yov Shaloi Tagin Zechusay Aleim, his schus shouldn't be able to protect them. V'anitak Omer Kalev Sar Tzila Mehaleim. Yov was the schus of Yov was protecting them, was protecting the land of Eretz Yisrael. Then they said, "V'nehiba inenu kichagovim v'cheina yunu b'neiim." We felt in our eyes like we were chagovim compared to how big they were, and they looked at us like we were chagovim. So the question is, how in the world could I know what's going on in somebody else's mind? So the Meraglim, in their own testimony, they're undermining their own credibility because they're saying what they were thinking. How in the world would the Meraglim know that they're thinking that we're like Chagovim? So there are those who say, if you perceive yourself to be tiny, if you walk around without confidence, then nobody's going to have any respect for you either. So because of their lack of confidence, that's gufa what led to them being perceived as tiny. But the Gemara wants to know, they're often the lawyers. Sure, a person could look at themselves, see they're tiny, and see that these giants are huge. Why would I believe you that you could read their mind? How could you know? It's not quite the way you think. You have a Mavri, Aveli, Tusi Arzi, have a Mavri. When the Avelim would be sitting Shiva on their Mesim, where would they eat their Sudas of Ra? They would sit there under trees to get shade. Eretz is a tenenholz, the cedar tree. V'chichazinu Salki Yasvi Bilami. So the Meraglim, they wanted to hide, so they hid in the branches of the tree. Shami, the Meraglim heard the Ka'amri that the Avelim, these big giants who were sitting underneath the trees, said, Kachazin and Inchi The dummy lakamsa biloni. There's insects crawling on the trees that look just like humans. So right away they knew that to the giants of Eretz Yisrael, they looked like little insects. Well, they were trying to show that the land is too strong for us. And who said there were only 3 giants? Maybe their family were also bigger. They were the biggest, it says. It says Achimon, because Taimon, because Yemini, who's the biggest of them. Maybe they're all bigger people. Not sure. Yeah. They might not be giant, but they're still bigger. Batisa Goleida, Vayitnu as Koilim Vayibku, and they cried. Amar Rabba Mabyechadan, Oisa Ayoim Erev Tisha B'Avaya. Once again, this is a famous measures. This was Erev Tisha B'Av. Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu, Hein Bachu B'Chish Achinam. They cried for nothing. Willst weinen? Ich will dich schon geben, a gitte Sibbe verwusst zu weinen. Und nie ekvel lachem b'chi alle dayres. V'amru kol ha'eda lerge moishem ba'avadim. The Eda wanted to stone them. Zog to Gemara. Uchsiv uchvoid Hashem nira ba'ayel mai. Amar b'chi b'rabba malamed should not lu avonim. They actually took stones. V'zorkim klapei maila. And they threw him klapei maila. Who did they want? Kavayachol chmon l'tzlon. They wanted a stone Kavayachol. V'yemusu ha'anoshim moitziei dibas ha'aretz ra b'magefa. What's that? Okay, 1 second. I have to take a quick break. I apologize. I have to order this Uber now. Give me 1 second. I'm going to take a 1 minute break, and I'm going to order the Uber. See if I should have it up already. I'm sorry. I tried to order before. I did it on the Mopsic in the middle, but they wouldn't let me. Second, 210. East. Fifth. $9:47. He has to leave at 6:45. From 210 East 5th to Newark Airport. All airlines, Air Canada, Terminal C. Okay. Uber X. Oh, it's expensive, man. Confirm Uber X. Confirm pickup. These work. It's not doing anything. Help. Click confirm Uber X. That was not working. Confirm your pickup spot. Confirm pickup. Okay, now what? Okay, fine. I'm confirming. Confirm Uber X. Confirm pickup spot. Near 210 5th Street. What's wrong with that? Confirm Uber X. I hope I'm not going to get 3 now. Oh, 1 second. I never knew that it was so complicated. Confirm. Pick up on East 5th Street. What? I don't have. Confirm. Confirm pickup. No, but normally it tells you it's on its way, but it's not doing anything. I'm panicking. I got to get in his cab. Wait, I don't know what to do. But you know how to order an Uber.
Oh,
Can I give you my phone?
why doesn't he call a taxi? Just a crazy idea.
I don't know. My guys wanted to call him an Uber. I didn't even think to order him a taxi. Today, everything's Uber. I'm a little. I'm sorry if I'm wasting time. Here, let me show you what I'm doing. Maybe I'm doing something stupid. Okay. Just confirm pickup, right?
Yeah.
Push confirm pickup. That should work, right?
Yes.
Confirm pickup, and then this is what happened. No, the test is 3 cars around before it even got to that point. Is this what it's supposed to do? No, normally it tells you that, shows you where the cars in the area are.
Push the back arrow at the top. Push it again. Push it again. Does it not tell you if there's any rides booked?
It says 10 minutes away. Back again. Within East Fifth Street.
Yeah, it looks like it hasn't gone through.
Lakewood, New Jersey.
Hey,
Uber X.
is it? Okay.
Confirm Uber X. Pick up on East Fifth Street.
Click there. Click where it says pick up on. Click there. Yeah. Move just a little bit to the left or right. Yeah. Okay. Now try it. Now hit confirm. Well, very strange.
Very strange.
Unless there's none available.
What do they have? You can do it, and I'll pay you. How much do they want for it? Oh, it's even cheaper. If you want to put it on it? Yeah. 210 East Fifth Lake, New Jersey. To ask for a phone number, or if you told me to have a card. I'm very sorry for wasting your time. I didn't think that this would that would take 2 seconds. What is that? There's got to be a driver at top of it. Anything? I think. But I still think if you can find something. All right, go off and help me out. Okay. It looks like they're still trying to find the driver. You think that's why Uber couldn't find it for me?
I don't know.
Still have to call some type of a car service there. Yeah, Terminal C. Yeah, me Uber doesn't even do anything at all. Last night it was working. I actually ordered one and they canceled it just to make sure that it would work. Nothing. I'll just tell them to call a cab. It looks like it. Are they going to give them a car, or are they going to say they can't do it? It's a decent fare. I would think the driver would want to take it. They're trying to find someone to do it. Uber gave up already. Koyach, mazel tov. Oh yeah, we watched the whole item. Look, I will continue, and if we don't get in the minute, I'll just tell them you have to call cab. Okay, Zog to Gemara weiter. So they threw a crack clap in Milo. They died and Misa Mishuna. Amar Pchim by Papa, Dorish Rab Shila Ish Kvar Tamarta, Malamed, Shenis Terabrev L'Shoinam. It's the same nusach that's used by the arm of Bas Paroi when she reached to get Moshe's basket. 18 minutes. What's we do? But it's not ordered. Do we have any information on the driver? Okay. So let me tell my wife. The driver is arriving in 18 minutes. It's a little late. It's going to be at 10 to 7. And his name is Andy, and he's driving a Toyota Highlander. And I'll give you a 3-minute notice. So please call Srilly and tell him it's going to be arriving at about, probably between 10 to 7 and 7 o'clock. And he's in a Toyota Highlander. And we'll give him notice when the driver is 3 minutes away. And it's not Uber, it's Lyft, because Uber was not working. Okay, Zok to Gemara weiter. So their tongues grew out very long. The novel al tiburim, it fell on their bellies. There were worms climbing out of their tongues. V'nichnasos went into their stomachs. So there were worms going back and forth. There's a superhighway between their tongues and their bellies. It looked like it was both ways. Rab Nachman bar Yitzchak Amar, it's Masha that came out. And Ba'atzker, you wonder if this happened internally. That I don't know. Ba'atzker Mesu, they died because there was inflammation in their throat and they choked. As soon as the last person from Klal Yisrael left the Yarden, the Kohanim were still on the east. So the Yisraelim left the west side of the Yarden. They got out on the west bank. The Kohanim were still standing on the east bank. So the Kohanim took their feet out of the water and Chazru Mayim Lam Kaiman, but now that the Kohanim are stuck on the wrong side of the Yarden. Shenemar, Vayiba Alois Kohanim Nois Haroim Bris Hashem Mitoich HaYarden, Notku Kapois Raglei Kohanim L'Charava. The Kohanim pulled their feet out of the river onto the dry land. V'yeshuvu Me HaYarden Lam Kaiman. V'yelchel K'moel Shulchan. And the Yarden was running like it always was. Akal Gedoisa. Nimtza. So where's everybody holding? Arayin v'nois of the Kohanim mitzarechad on the east bank of the Yarden, Yisrael mitzarechad, and Klal Yisrael was on the west bank of the Yarden. So how did the Kohanim and the Aron HaKodesh get over? Nos Arnis Noisav Avar. The Aron lifted, carried those who were carrying it, and the Aron transported everybody across the Yarden. Shenemar v'yikash otam kol ha'am lavar, v'yavar Aron Hashem v'Kohanim l'fnei v'aldavar zeh nenash uza. On this idea that they relied on the Aron to transport them, that actually made Uzzah, who did the same thing, was Nena. Shenemar vayavoyu ad goren kidoin, and this was when the Aron was taken by the Pelishtim and went on his way back. It came to Uzzah, and it says vayishlach Uzzah es yadoi lechois es ha'Aron. Uzzah tried to reach out and touch the Aron Kodesh. What happened? Amalek Kadosh Baruch Hu, Uzzah, Noisav, Nasa. You want to reach out to the Aron to lift the Aron. The Aron carried those who carried it. Noisav, Nasa, Atzmai like culture again. So by you reaching out to the Aron to try to carry that in and of itself is a Chil Hashem. Vayichar af Hashem v'Uzzah, vayoku Shem al Shel. Right, it was slipping out, so he was trying to reach out to stop it from falling, and that was a Chil Hashem because the Aron is nice, it doesn't need your help, Uzzah. Rabbi Yochanan Rabbi Elazar, Chad Amar al Iskoi Shaloi, the Chad Amar Shasa Tzrochav B'Fanav. There's either it's because of what he did that he reached out, or El Iskoi Shaloi Shgago Sheshago Lechas Boy, or Shasa Tzrochav, meaning he had to use the washroom, so he did his own thing, Shasa Tzrochav B'Fanav, and that's why he was nifted. Right. Yes, because that shows that he's showing that Ari needs his help. Are you serious? Should we cancel it? And then we'll just cancel. Okay. Mommy, we have a little problem because the Uber keeps on sending messages that it's delayed, which means we're already in crisis territory. So can you call Shirley and ask him if he can call a car service that can come right away, and I'll just cancel this Uber because it's getting too dangerous. Okay, let's see the Hillel Gemara weiter. In the schools of our Torah, the Rebbeinu should help my son should get to the airport, so he should be able to get back to learn Torah as well. Okay, so Zok to Gemara weiter. Zok to Gemara weiter. Amar Rabbi Yochanan Uza ba la'olam haba. Uza came to Olam haba. Shenema im aroin alekim. Ma aroin la'olam kayim. Av Uza ba la'olam haba. Vayichai LaDavid al asher paratz Hashem paratz beUza. It bothered David that this terrible tragedy happened to Uza. Amar Belazar shenishtanu panav kecharara. David HaMelech's face turned like a charara because it turned dark. Elamayata kol heicha d'chsiv vayichar hachanami. Dr. Gemara, no. Hasam ksiv af hacha loy ksiv af. Oh, 1 second. 3 minutes. Okay, come back. Mommy, I just got noticed that the lift is 3 minutes away. So please tell Shirley he doesn't need to order a cab. The lift will be there in 3 minutes. His name is George, and it's a Toyota Camry. Okay. Zok to Gemara weiter. Thank you, Ivester, and thank you, Mati, for your help. And you'll tell me what I owe you. I will take care of it. Thank you very much. Okay. George is a Chassidish name. George. Okay. Darish Rava. Rava Darshan. If the man nenash David, why was David nenash? Because he referred to Divrei Torah Zemiros. Shenemar Zemiros hayuli chukecha bebeis mugurai. Amalek Hakadosh Baruch Hu Davar Torah shekasuv bahen hisif einecha boy veinenu. There are such heilige Zachen. V'ata Koresh and Zemiros. Hareini machshilcha. I'm going to be machshil you bedavar in an avera shafilu tinoike shal beis rabban yoydin oisai. Yechsiv v'levnei kahas loy nasan ki avoidis hakodesh. Everybody knows that the Aron was carried, not put on a wagon, and he put it on the wagon. The Yach ba'anche be'shemesh, he rode ba'aron. Talk to more. B'shum the road just because they saw the Aron. Is that a reason why they should be punished? B'shum the yaru ba'yach, revolver b'lezer chadamer koitrin u'mishtachvim hayu. While they were working on their Sirah, they bowed down to the Aron, meaning they didn't stop working. When the Aron was coming, they should have been mechaber it, not work and give a shakel with the cup as it's going by. The Chad Amar, Mili, Nami Amar, they even spoke or maybe thought disrespectfully towards the Aron. And what did they say? Man Amruch the Mrayas. Uman Osalach the Fayis. Dr. Rashi, what did they say? They were sort of talking at the Aron that the Aron was captured by the Pelishtim. Like they were sort of thinking or talking towards the Aron, but you couldn't protect yourself. What happened over there? Who got you upset that you allowed yourself to be captured by the Pelishtim? Now that you're coming back, that's what you came back. So that was a little bit of a disrespectful thought or even expression towards the Aron Kodesh. I'm sorry? He's there, right? Okay, 1 second. Mommy, could you call Shirley because the car is there and it's going to leave in 5 minutes if Shirley is not there. So can you please confirm that Shirley is there with the car and that he got in? Okay, weiter. I'm sorry? Because I want to go weiter. So 70 people and 50,000 people. Normally, the way it would be expressed was Vayach ba'am Chamishim Elef v'Shivim Ish. What's happens? It says two separate things: Shivim Ish and Chamishim Elef Ish. Rabbi Vol, Rabbi Lozer, Chadam or Shivim Ish Hayu. It was really only 70 people. But v'Chalechad v'Echad Shagol k'Chamishim Elef. Each person of these 70 were so chashuv that they were shakal to 50,000 people. The Chadam or Chamishim Elef Hayu. In fact, it was 50,000 people. And each person was royal to be on the Sanhedrin. Vahiki tzadu noisei. He's loading the car now. Okay, Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. Okay, thank you, Mati. Thank you very much. Okay, Vahiki tzadu noisei aron Hashem. She said tzadim. Every 6 steps that they took, they stopped and they made a whole carbon. Vayizbach shar umuri. Uchsiv shiva parim v'shiva elim. Shiva parim v'shiva elim. Umar papa bar Shmuel. Akol psia upsia. On every step, it was a shar umuri. And akol sheish v'sheish psias. And then every 6 steps, it was shiva parim v'shiva elim. That's how many karbanis they were bringing as they were walking along with the Aron. Amar B'chista. In Cain, if you're thinking about that, for every 6 steps, every 1 step, they're bringing karbanis. Think of how many karbanis there are. Milesa is kol Eretz Yisrael b'maves. There's death everywhere because Rashi says, I'm sorry, not b'mois. B'mois. They're making karbanis everywhere. Eretz Yisrael is going to be full of b'mois. Every step, they're bringing more karbanis. L'mar b'chista al kol sheish v'sheish psiyos shor umuri al kol shisha sedorim shel sheish psiyos shiva parim v'shiva elim. After every 7 sets of 6 steps, that's when they brought it. So it was much less. Siv kidain uksiv nachain. Rabbi Yochanan betchila kidain u'b'soif nachain. What does this mean? Zok Rashi betchila kishabarin sham nasalem kidain. Kidain is a weapon. Ha'horig shahar guza. It killed us. It killed Uza. U'b'soif al'achash nishta sham shisha chodashim beveis oived edaim. Nasa nachain, meaning shehichnes beisai. It actually helped the house of Oived Edom. Yechsiv Vayivarach Hashem is Oived Edom. Why? How did he get a bracha? Ishte shel Oived Edom u'shmoina kaloisel yoldu shisha bekeres echad. V'hani dechsiv pa'alti hashmini kiboch elokim. So what happened is the Aron was by base Oived Edom, and there was great bracha to the house of Oived Edom because of the Aron. There's a beautiful shtickle on that from the Mashami Rijan, but it's 6:49 and we're not finished the daf because of my Uber tzudas. I'm sorry. Let's go back to we'll get to that. I got to finish the daf. Nimtus at the Omer. Loi shemini avonim hayu. Kum techois that there were 3 sets of avonim. Echad shehiki Moshe be'eretz Moav. 1 set of stones that Moshe set up in Eretz Moav. Shenemar be'evar yarden be'eretz Moav. Hoil Moshe be'eretz HaTorah zois. Ulalonu Omer, and then it says v'chasafta alein is called divrei HaTorah zois. But also be'er so that they're both the Torah. Then there was a set of stones that Yeshua set up in the Yarden. And then a 3rd set of stones that were set up in Gilgal. How did the Klal Yisrael write the Torah? They wrote it on the stones. After they wrote it, then Sodu Oiso Mesidin, they smeared it over with sin. How in the world would they have learned Torah? So Rashi says, Torah. If they weren't told to write it over in Shivim Loshen, how did everybody learn? How did they learn it? Which means they're soifrim, the kilfu as a sid, and they peeled off the sid, the hisiua, which means that hikua notlu mishom idea taka, so they must have copied it over. Dover zeh nischatem gzardinam lebershachas, and this caused that they were condemned. Shehoyalam lilmoid v'leilamdu. They had an opportunity to learn, and they didn't. They actually wrote it on top of the sid. The kosvu lahem lemata leman asher yilmudu eschem lasois kechol. So actually, I'm going to stop here because it's already 6:51. So we'll stop here. I'm sorry that I chopped up the shir, and because of that we couldn't finish. But Amitzim tomorrow, I want to tell you over the story of the Marsham from Brujan, and then we'll start again from the 3 sets of stones. Shkoyach, everybody, have a wonderful, wonderful day.